The renovations to Harmon Park were much more than just a new slab of concrete and paint job on the outdoor court. The indoor facility received a bunch of new upgrades as well, including a new weight room and a new paint job on the indoor floor. Although a language barrier was an initial hurdle for Arizona State's staff and players, they realized that there was one language that everyone could understand. Being a part of a major league camp is exciting for any baseball player, but for Taylor and Pretty, putting on this cap is a childhood dream come true. But if the MLS grants them an expansion bid, they'll work on a permanent home that might look like this. On Thursday, the Pac-12 announced that Commissioner Larry Scott received a contract extension through 2022. Since he took over in 2009, the conference has expanded to 12 teams and landed a TV deal worth nearly $3 billion. What hasn't happened yet? Pac-12 Network's distribution on DirecTV.
9-6 is my final score.
Thanks, Blaine. And now remember that score so you can make fun of Blaine later on. And if you can't get enough of ASU lacrosse, or maybe just not enough of Blaine, check out our SLC playoff preview show. Riding through rough and uneven terrain like this can take a great toll on the body, but Robota says the toughest challenge for the Old Pueblo race is fighting off mental fatigue. When it is all said and done, whenever that final whistle does blow for you and your career comes to a close, when you have time to look back, what is this period of time going to mean to you, and what do you want to look back and kind of see when you look at Arizona State's program? The breaking of the rock symbolizes the end of a summer of hard work for Arizona State football, and that means they can finally get to work in fall camp. The adjustment to the college game is tough on any freshman basketball player. For Ramon Villa, who came to Tempe from Barcelona, Vitaly Shibul, who hails from Ukraine, that challenge is even greater.
When I got here, my English was even awful. It was so bad, so bad.
I mean, I'm from New Jersey, and I talk very fast a lot, and I have an accent, so it might have been more difficult for Ramon. He might need an interpreter for me.
Vila and Shibul are two of 3 international players Bobby Hurley and his staff brought in during the last recruiting cycle, along with Jethro Shishumpa from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Although a language barrier was an initial hurdle for Arizona State's staff and players, they realized that there was one language that everyone could understand.
You rarely have a language barrier when it comes to basketball, because the terminologies may be different, but the visuals are all the same.
ASU assistant coach Rashawn Burno is head of international recruiting for the Sun Devils. It's his job to determine who ASU should pursue, but oftentimes he makes that call before ever seeing the player in person.
When you've done it long enough, you can tell what a kid can do on the floor. The tough part is what type of kid you're going to get, because you don't have a ton of time to spend with learning about the kid, what his likes and dislikes are, what type of kid he is.
Vila and Shishumpa have played regular minutes this season, while Shibul is sidelined by a torn ACL and is out for the year. As they become more comfortable on the court, they've found comforts off the court as well.
All right, I gotta say, I'm a really fan of Taco Bell.
I love Dutch Bros.
Jethro with Whataburger. He loves it.
I would get so fat if I would be eating all what I want.
As far as getting their teammates to sample things from their cultures, not so much.
They kind of freak out when I'm saying that we eat rabbit, for example.
I didn't even try because it's gonna be really weird for them.
Although the international trio is going through the growing pains of any freshman season, Hurley is encouraged by what he's seen so far.
Well, I just feel like they're hungry. You usually find kids that want to be successful, that want to be good student athletes, and I've enjoyed the players that we have in the program.
If any of them are selected in the NBA draft, they would become the first foreign-born Sun Devils to do so. In Tempe, Zac Pacleb, Cronkite Sports Reporter. And with one swing of the hammer from redshirt senior Lai Mokiola, Arizona State's summer workouts have come to an end. The Sun Devils spent the last few months lifting, conditioning, and preparing their bodies for the coming season.
A lot of guys did a lot of good things this summer. Weight training program was awesome. A lot of guys put some weight on they needed to do. A lot of guys lost some weight they needed to lose. So it's going well.
I really just wanted to get closer to the team and try to push everybody. I was trying to lift like the heavy guys and be fast like the skilled guys, trying to push everybody to beat me and trying to be the best in every category.
More than just building muscle and speed, summer workouts also build the team's mental toughness.
That's really the big difference, is where they're at mentally. It's not really the body, but it's just seeing guys get comfortable and just get hungry and get more motivated and just, confident. That's what I've noticed the most.
The breaking of the rock symbolizes the end of a summer of hard work for Arizona State football, and that means they can finally get to work in fall camp.
Going out there and smashing that rock means everything. We've been doing it for years. You know, I remember doing it last year like it was yesterday, and you know, it just means the world to me. I see all the emotions coming through.
You know, strapping that helmet on, putting those pads on, those cleats is a different feeling, and you know, I think a lot of us are really just been waiting to experience that again.
You know, we're just ready to get out there and have some fun. You know, it's been a long summer, and we're just ready to get out there and grind. You know, with the coaches finally, and just go out there, catch some balls, and be explosive out there.
We'll see what the bigger, faster, and stronger Sun Devils look like when Camp T rolls around next week. From Tempe, I'm Zac Pacleb, houseofsparky.com. Ashley Rabota isn't out for a casual ride. She's training for the 24 hours in the Old Pueblo race in Tucson this weekend. Racers ride along a 16-mile trail from noon on Saturday until noon on Sunday. In 2014, Rabota finished 8th out of 14 participants in the solo female category. The next year, she finished 6th.
I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm pretty good at this. I took a break last year, decided to do a different type of mountain bike event, and I'm back this year to see if maybe I could take top 5.
To achieve her goal, Rabota trains with Race Lab, an endurance sport training organization in Phoenix.
Ashley is a person that always likes adventure and likes being challenged, so it's actually not very hard for us to push her. She pushes herself a lot.
Riding through rough and uneven terrain like this can take a great toll on the body, but Rabota says the toughest challenge for the Old Pueblo race is fighting off mental fatigue.
Usually during those moments I think a lot of my friends and my family. I think about all the training that I did. I remind myself the sun will come up. Just keep going, the sun will come up. And then when it does, it's usually glorious. It's like, oh, I made it through the night.
And while her goal is to finish in the top 5, Rabota said crossing the finish line is an accomplishment in itself.
It's a great feeling to come across that line knowing that you pushed yourself through so many barriers and you came out stronger because of it.
In Phoenix, Zac Pacleb, Cronkite News.